Well, it's very.
I'm terrible. I'm sorry for the first meeting. I had them here for weeks. I forget that they're new. I'm like, here.
We are live and recording.
Oh, yeah.
All set? Well, I am Darius Schonfart, Chair of the Finance Committee of the City of Albany Industrial Development Agency. Call this meeting to order at 12:17. We have all members of the IDA here with the exception of Joe Better and Chris Betts. Our first order of business is, as usual, is the reading and approval of minutes. Minutes having been previously distributed, I call for a motion to dispense with the reading and accept them as presented.
Then I'll second.
All right. Any changes, additions, deletions? All those in favor? Aye. All right. Next order of business report from the Chief Financial Officer.
Balance sheet remains strong, short-term liquidity remains larger than change. Operational and engagement of banks. Account structure facilitates millions. Expect to turn on the budget, involved with the 5 projects. We see activity picking up in the second half of 24. We're also getting better, fixing your results. Currently operating a deficit through 6/30, but we are controlling expenses. We are 99% of the budget. Certainly more than half the original. Timing of certain Q4 project closings may be subject to change. We will update maybe in subsequent meetings, more detailed plans available. Outside of this commentary, revenue and expense projections remain valid.
Great. Any questions? All right. Next order of business, since we have no unfinished business, we'll move on to new business on Colvin Commons, 60 Colvin Ave.
Super quick before we jump to the project, I just wanted to have a staff announcement. We have a new face at the table. Olivia Seawack is our latest program assistant to join the team. So we'll all welcome Olivia. And
Hello there. All right. Now on to 60 Colvin Avenue Commons LLC.
Thank you, Chair. This project was introduced at the Finance Committee last month. It involves the construction of approximately 63 units of purpose-built affordable housing and approximately 4,800 square feet of ground floor commercial space intended to house a daycare facility. The project will be funded in part through 9% low-income housing tax credits via New York State. And the residential units will serve income qualifying residents that fall between 40 and 80% of AMI. So we're going to run through our usual project summary and our cost benefit analysis. After that, staff would request that we go into an executive session quickly to discuss the financings of the corporation. And of note, we also have a representative of the project team here with us today, Larry Reagan. So if there's any initial questions or if there's not, I will jump into the project summary.
Jump in.
Wonderful.
Go feet.
So this project, just to orientate everyone, you can go back a couple slides. Perfect. This is sitting on the opposite side of Anthony Street on Colvin Ave as the affordable housing project we discussed some months back. So that we're looking at Colvin Ave and Anthony Street would be further down past that second building. So a little bit up Colvin towards Washington Avenue. Looking at the estimated real property tax benefit over the course of the 30-year pilot, the net revenue gained to the taxing jurisdictions, it is $2.8 million, and the property value increase equates to approximately $2.3 million. This is a total investment of about $30.6 million. Again, this is purpose-built affordable housing, so this project is analyzed outside of the framework, but as part of that, we still score the project to provide a comparative basis for a project-to-project comparison. So we will jump through that scoring rubric momentarily. As we do with all projects requesting no property tax abatements, we did contract with the Capital District Regional Planning Commission to conduct an economic impact analysis. They utilize the in-plan platform that looks at the direct, indirect, and induced effects that the project will bring. So starting with temporary construction impact, that is estimated at approximately $22.4 million. And the permanent operations impact is estimated to be about $1.7 million. The requested pilot on the residential portion is a request for a 30-year, 10% shelter rent that is directly in line with our policy manual. The commercial portion, the requested pilot equates to a 10-year request and comes out to the pilot schedule that the framework would typically provide for a commercial project that has attained community scoring status. So I would like to discuss the financial request for assistance in more detail. If possible, we could enter into an executive session.
All right. We have a motion to enter executive session. Second, Lee, all's in favor? All right, we'll be discussing the finances of this project, going to executive session. Welcome back.
Okay.
Good, all right. We are back in executive session at 12:27. No action was taken. We discussed just the financing of the project that we're discussing. All right, anything further to discuss on this? Any questions? I do have one. Has there been sign off, so to speak, from neighbor associations?
Yes.
Okay, no issues.
No, months ago, we had discussions with the, Michael.
O'Brien, yeah,
They're very supportive of this application, believe it or not.
okay,
We were happy to hear that. Fred Ehrlich who used to be the director of, the not-for-profit, that we worked with on the project in Cohoes, introduced us to Mike O'Brien. I had some one-on-one calls with him and they went very well. We explained sort of everything that this board had heard and they actually came out in favor of the project prior to the other project that
right,
is next to us.
Yeah.
They took a different position.
yes, they did.
We know.
Right, well, then I think the question before us is whether to put forth a positive recommendation for a public hearing resolution on this project.
Thank you, Chair, Senator Ruff, I see John looking down at the framework.
Yes.
Scoring, which I neglected to go through.
Okay.
So thank you, John, for indirectly reminding me that. I would like to go through that, even though, again, this is very analyzed outside of the framework. I think it's good practice. For us to
Sure.
do that. So going through the project evaluation and assistance scoring unit. The project would have scored 1 point for being located in a high vacancy census tract. The project would have scored another point for being located in the business improvement district, despite the fact that it's on Colton Avenue, it is within the bounds of the Central Ave Business Improvement District. Under the header of identified priority, the project would score 1 point for currently being vacant land. For the job creation, project is estimated to create 12 full-time equivalent jobs, which would equal 1 point. And the project is also estimated to create approximately 60 construction jobs, which would also be equal to 1 point. The $30.6 million estimated investment of the project would equate to 3 cumulative points under the financial commitment header. That totals 8 points. We would expect, had this project gone through the framework, it probably would score 10 points. I know, and Larry can probably speak on a more educated basis to this. The state typically requires some NWB components and some other labor requirements. So they may, in fact, be achieving some of our community commitments just by the nature of the project and state requirements being involved. But since this is analyzed outside the framework, we don't have them marked here. So apologies again for skipping over that.
Would this technically, as a low income project, be an inclusionary housing project under our?
It would technically,
Yeah.
and luckily, since we look at those outside the framework, we've never had to get into that
Right,
kind of oddity.
Yeah.
About how we would approach that within the scoring framework,
Okay.
but yes.
all right. Great, any other questions? Did we forget anything else?
Hopefully not.
Okay. Then do I have a motion for a positive recommendation for public hearing resolution? All right,
I'll second.
all those in favor? Aye. All right. Well, we'll hear you next time.
Thank you for board and staff.
Thanks.
We'll see you next month.
Will be next month. We'll be holding a public hearing and we'll staff will reach out.
We'll be here. Thank you.
All right. Next order of business, we have a project introduction for 67 Livingston Ave, Equity Development Partners. So take it away.
I'll give a very brief introduction, excuse me, and turn the floor over to representatives of the project team. We should also have someone on the line here with us already.
It says there's another meeting in progress, she said. I'm not sure. Sorry. Oh, great. Thank you. I told him you do. Great. Sorry about this.
That's okay.
You just want the phone number? Sure. Okay, 1248. Actually, are we muted? We're not right now, so the phone number. No, she just hang up. Okay. Follow it up. Yes. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I know, she probably hung up because she's. I'm gonna leave it.
There you go, it popped up.
Hello?
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, this is the City of Albany IDA's Finance Committee meeting.
Hi, this is Angela.
Hi, Angela. We have you on speakerphone. We also have this meeting live streamed on YouTube, so we will, which is muted at the moment. We will go back to that. It is actually not muted at the moment, so you're live. Great. So without further ado, staff will provide a brief introduction of the project. This project is located at 67 Livingston Avenue. You can see the current condition of the site there. It's at the foot of Livingston Avenue and Broadway, right down the street on the same block as the Cap Rep Theater. This project was a Clinton Square DRI Award E. So this project has been in the works for some time now, and just received 9% loan housing tax credits in the latest round. So what they're looking to do is to construct a mixed use, approximately 58,000 square foot, 6-story structure that will hold 57 purpose-built affordable housing units, approximately 1,600 square feet of ground floor retail space intended to serve as an art gallery. And an additional, what's an interesting concept, on the second floor, an additional 10 residential units of about 5,100 square feet that will be reserved for Cap Rep Theater and will house, provide temporary housing to their traveling actors and artists and stage crafters and the like. So without further ado, I will turn the floor over to David, a representative, and his team.
I'm going to stand somewhere and take it.
Totally up to you.
Okay. I will stand. Hi, everybody. My name is David Sarah. I'm here representing Equity Residential Development. I'm also here with my colleague Megan Cooper from Home Leasing, who we are partnering on the project. And you have Angela Eichholz on the call, also from Home Leasing. Excuse me, who will be able to help answer any questions we might have about some numbers. So I'm going to repeat a little bit about what Andy said, so I apologize. But yes, Clinton Square Studios, finally pleased to be able to present you with this project. We got awarded a decent amount of DRI funding back in, I think it was 2018. So ever since, we've been applying to HCR to try to get funding for the rest of the project. And this past March, we were thankfully finally successful, so we are moving forward. The development site is located on the northwest corner of Broadway and Livingston Ave, right in downtown Albany. As Andy said, there's a 2-story vacant structure on it that will be coming down as soon as we begin our site work. And we will be constructing 6-story, just under 60,000 square foot mixed-use building. Again, as Andy said, most of the, we can break the building up into, I guess, 3 different sections. As he said, there's 57 affordable housing units. which would be set aside for, I guess, local artists in the area looking for housing where they can also do some of their work on site, which we'll get into that with the retail component as well. So that's 57 units. Then there are another 10 studio apartments located on the second floor, which we did our best to separate from the rest of the units. Those will be specifically for Cap Rep Theater. They operate their Summit Youth Theater just a few feet away from the 67 Livingston Avenue entrance, and they are in need of 10 units to house staff as they come through to put on shows at their theater. So 10 units will be allocated specifically for Cap Rep Theater. And then, as he also said, we have a 1,600 square foot retail space on the ground floor on the corner of Livingston and Broadway, which will be a gallery and some studio space for the artists upstairs. We, at the moment, Albany Barn will be working with us to help to screen incoming tenants as well as operate the gallery and studio space out of the retail section. What else can I tell you about the project? I think that's it. We are proposing 10% 30-year shelter rent. Similar to, I guess, what typical projects receive, doing similar development. Anything else I can?
I just wanted to know, I'm Megan from Home Leasing. David is the sponsor of the project. Home Leasing is the development consultant and will also be providing property management services for the partnership. I just wanted to add that.
Yes, Home Leasing has extensive experience, not only in the affordable space, but also managing as well. They have a portfolio of their own, not far away, so
You guys are familiar with our work. I think I'm Clinton Avenue, our 2 phases.
We know you.
You've supported us in those. We really appreciate that. So yeah, we're working with David. on this.
and they've been a great help, kind of, and for those of you who don't know me or our company, up till now, we've really just done market rate apartments in the city of Albany, in the city of Troy. And we are very much interested in getting into the affordable housing space. And we were linked up with Home Leasing, who has a great amount of experience, and they've been wonderful as they get us through this process.
And I think just to add a little bit of context, since Home Leasing does several projects with the agency, something that was exciting to us about this project and a little bit unique, because David had already dreamed it all up before we got involved, is the Cap Rep commercial space, those 10 units. That has been a complex concept for folks to kind of wrap their heads around. Essentially, a commercial space that is apartments inside of an apartment building is a little atypical. But those 10 units for Cap Rep they were part of the DRI submission, their condition of the DRI award, and it's also something that Cap Rep is required to provide their traveling artists. Right now, they're renting apartments throughout the city. You know, they're essentially hotel units, for lack of a better term, but this was really an effort to partner with Cap Rep. You know, they just had a very big renovation to really support the work that they're doing here in Albany. So that is part of the reason why this request includes a 30-year pilot for both residential and commercial. We know a 30-year pilot is for commercial space specifically is atypical for this IDA. But it's the complexity of having 2 commercial spaces, and especially the apartment commercial spaces. That concept has been, as it's been a little bit more complicated, we're trying to really protect the project from really trying to ensure its feasibility, I guess is the easiest way to say it. So that's the nature of maybe a more atypical request than what we've typically seen from us and from others, I suspect. So.
How do you, very nuts and bolts question, but how do you do how do you keep track of the incomes of the tenants to make sure that they're within the income levels strata that are required here? You do, I assume you take tax returns and all that?
Oh, yeah, we'll
Yeah.
ask you for, your firstborn's,
Okay.
last name. Yeah, every little bit of information. Our management team has, we have a compliance team who does an intake, collects tax returns, payment history, bank statements. We do third-party verification. And then all of our the income packet actually goes to a third-party compliance company for a second verification. And then our investor will also verify it themselves. So it gets verified, 3 times for initial occupancy, and then every year residents have to recertify. So they do that every year to ensure they are income qualified. Yeah, it's a crazy compliance process, but necessary.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
All right, any questions from anybody else?
No questions, but just to kind of echo what Megan said about the really uniqueness of this project and how the cap rep space and it kind of intertwines with almost a conventional commercial use. It's certainly something that this agency in the recent past has not seen. So as part of that, we staff intends to bring on a third-party consultant to really take a look at the financial feasibility of the project and the need and the requests at hand. And so we expect to be able to work with that consultant over the course of about the next month. And similar to the deep dive we just did in the previous project, we look to present that back to this committee with some initial findings, hopefully next month.
Great. All right. Anything else? Well, thank you for coming in.
Thank you for
All
having
right,
us.
you may go.
Stay cool, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
We'll try. All right, on to other business, agency update. No? Okay. Compliance update.
No, there is one.
We're compliant. Motion to adjourn.
Just one quick reminder, we will have a triple, meeting next week. Actually, we will have a board meeting for both the IDA and CRC and also a governance committee meeting. We will be jumping full speed back into the framework refresh. So if you are not a governance committee member, you are more than welcome and encouraged to please still attend and I think we're gonna have some good input from everyone and some paths forward here as to how we get this back up and running by the end of the year.
I'll be in DC next week for our annual conference.
Okay.
All week, so.
Any questions on the materials, let us know. We do expect to have multiple governance committee meetings between now and the end of the year, so you will certainly have the opportunity to provide input on this. And we can also do that offline as well.
Okay.
If that's convenient.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Motion to adjourn. All those in